Welcome to the Disability Partnership Calderdale podcast. I'm your host, Philip Ingham. In this edition, we look at the Halifax Society for the Blind, which is one of the most active disability organisations in Calderdale. Faye Herbert, their chief officer, kindly invited us round to see their new premises on Southgate in the centre of Halifax, which they've now been in for a year, and we talked about the many social and group activities the Society runs. So I'm with Faye from the Halifax Society for the Blind. Faye, morning. Would you like to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you work for?
So my name's Faye. I'm the Chief Officer at Halifax Society for the Blind. I started here in 2018 as a volunteer manager and took on the role of Chief Officer just over a year ago.
Excellent. Halifax Society for the Blind seems to me to be one of the busiest organisations in Calderdale for people with disabilities. Tell us a little bit about what's a typical week here in terms of the activities you run for people.
Okay, so we have a cafe area, a social engagement cafe area, and a site centre that are open for drop-ins from 10 till 2, Monday to Friday, where people can come along, get a hot drink and receive support, advice and guidance from our staff around equipment that's available, technology that's available, daily living aids, etc.
How many people do you get on a weekly basis? I mean, how many people are you in contact with regularly?
It varies from week to week how many people come in. We constantly see new people coming in from referrals from the low vision clinic, the ECLO, the rehab team as well, and local opticians. So it can vary, but we seem to have a steady stream coming through the door. So,
typical. What happens on a Monday then? So, what's your start of your week like?
So groups and activities that we run on a weekly basis. On a Monday we run a group at Brighouse Rest Centre. We're very lucky to have a facility down there to use, and that runs on a Monday afternoon from 12:30 till 2:30. On a Tuesday we don't have any specific groups and activities running. However, we do have a walking group that is once a month that tends to be on a Tuesday. But that doesn't run over the winter period for obvious reasons.
So the walking group seems to go to some really sort of diverse locations. It's some quite challenging walks out there. What's the theory behind that?
So people, we've listened to our members, and our members have said that they like to do things that they probably wouldn't do on their own. So we try to go to places that people might fancy trying, might fancy a walk around, but would be a bit nervous to go on their own, or that people can't access on their own because it's not on good public transport links.
So how do people actually get to the walks? Do you run a minibus, or do they have to meet you there?
No, we don't have any minibus. People can meet us there if they've got their own transport, or they can use the public transport. Otherwise, we rely on volunteers and staff to deliver people.
Talking of staff, how many staff do you have?
We've got 6. Not all of us are full-time. We've got 3 full-time members of staff and 3 part-time members of staff.
What are those roles roughly? What do they do?
So we've got a senior engagement officer who helps in the site centre, has a lot of knowledge around technology and daily living aids and equipment. He also does our publication on social media. And we've got an engagement officer who is responsible for increasing engagement with our service, both with people that might want to use our service and partner organisations. We've got an activities coordinator who runs the groups and activities. We've got a site support advisor who's on hand to help with advice and guidance around site support. And we've got an office admin support assistant who does a bit of everything.
And you said that adds up to probably full-time 4 members of staff if you add the hours together.
Around full-time.
You've obviously got an active volunteer network as well. How many people actually do volunteer for you?
We've got around 35 volunteers on our database. We've got a really good core of volunteers who regularly come in and help, or help from the comfort of their own home. So we've got a friends on the phone service, so we've got volunteers who can ring members once a week to have a chat and catch up, for those of our members who are struggle with mobility issues, maybe more isolated.
So getting back to that typical week, we've done sort of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. What else is going on in a typical week? I mean, obviously things aren't. So I've said typical week, but you don't have a typical week, do you? Because you run things on a monthly basis and on different cycles.
Yeah. So Wednesdays are quite busy these days because we've made them a full day. You could actually come in for a full day if you wanted to do. So on a Wednesday we have a breakfast group from 10 o'clock till 11 o'clock, which then leads into another group. So that's on a monthly basis. So on the first Wednesday of every month we have a technology group where people can find out about technology, assistive technology that's available to them, or we might get guest speakers in to talk about technology that's available. Second Wednesday of a month is a companion group for family, friends and guides of people with a visual impairment. The third Wednesday of every month is a guide dog group for past, present and future guide dog owners to come and have a chat, talk about the challenges of living with a guide dog and the benefits of guide dogs. And the fourth Wednesday of every month, getting confused with my days, fourth Wednesday of every month is a focus group. So that will focus on a specific eye condition.
And do you get experts?
We get experts in to talk about eye conditions, and then following those groups, we have knit and natter from 12 till 2, which is just a drop in, bring your knitting projects, come and have a chat while you do your knitting. And then from 2 till 4, we have the Halifax Coffee and Chat group, which is very similar to the Brighouse group. People can come in for a coffee, chat, play bingo, have a quiz, maybe get a guest speaker in occasionally. Thursdays, we've just started a new group called Socialise, which runs from 10:30 till 2. So we try and do a variety of activities. Some will be in-house, so we might do some craft activities, such as we've done some brooch making. And then the other week we had Simon Browning from the Blind Veterans to talk about his experience of losing his sight and moving forward from that. And then after that we made some poppy coasters from resin to commemorate Remembrance Day. We've also been out to the Pottery Cafe and decorated some mugs. So we try and do a variety of things for the Socialise group.
You clearly consult with your members regularly. How do you do that?
We conducted a survey at the beginning of this year over to try and get the feedback from people about the groups that we were running and what they would like to see in the future. And we try and evaluate groups on a regular basis as well as they're running, so speak to members that come to the groups.
Not afraid of change as an organisation, are you? You seem to be refreshing your services and what you offer on a very regular basis, and that's a good characteristic. I
think so. There's no point in running things that people are not benefiting from, is there? We want to offer as much support as we can to people with sight loss, and a big part of what we offer is the social side of peer support, and we want to do things that work. So for example, we're trying to encourage younger members with sight loss to access our services, and we've started an in-betweeners group which runs on the fourth Thursday of every month, and that's on an evening, 6 till 8 on an evening. So again, that might be in-house. We might stay in and do events like we've had a cheese and wine night, we've had a crackerjack event, we recently did the curling challenge to end all curling challenges. But we also do things like we might just go for a pint, or we might go for a meal out, or we've been to Galactic Golf, and that was an experience. So we try and do different things.
Does sound good. We've spoken before about how difficult it is for people with various disabilities to get out of the house and to take part in activities. Your response to that is to provide people with more than one activity and more than one focus in a given session here. So outline how that works.
Yeah, so when we did the survey, some of the barriers that people identified were that transport is an issue, and shorter groups, so groups that maybe only run for an hour, by the time you've overcome the challenges that visually impaired people face to get here, coming to for just a group for an hour can not always be worthwhile. So we've tried to make things run for a longer period. So if, like I say, on a Wednesday you could actually come in for your breakfast at 10 and stay till 4, and on a Thursday we've got the group that runs from 10:30 till 2. So it's they're longer days for people to access, and hopefully that encourages people to make the
journey in, and make the day worthwhile. I think that we all know that behind a lot of people with disabilities are families, friends and carers, etc., who put a lot of time and effort into supporting people. Do you offer support to them as well?
Yeah, we have the companion group once a month where people can come in for a peer support and have a chat, just to talk about anything that they may be facing, just a peer support group for anything really around caring for people with a visual impairment, and the cafe area is available as a drop-in. We've got staff on hand, volunteers on hand for a chat if people need a bit of a hot drink and a coffee and a chat.
Excellent. So how do people normally get in touch with you? You get referrals, but if somebody wants to start taking part in your activities, how do they go about it? How do they get in touch with you? Do they literally just walk through the door?
They can just walk through the door. They can walk through the door. They can phone us. There is a link on our website to a contact form. They can email us.
And everybody welcome?
Everybody with sight loss. We cover Calderdale and the surrounding areas, so anybody living with sight loss in those areas is more than welcome. We wouldn't turn anybody away that was outside of those areas. It just might be some restrictions to the service that we can offer.
Brilliant. Okay, well that's a brilliant overview of what you're doing. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I'm still with Faye. We've moved downstairs to the Sight Centre. Faye, tell me a little bit about this wonderfully exciting looking room.
So this site is our Sight Centre, where we have got a large range of technology and daily living aids for people with sight loss. So we have a variety of magnifiers, which include handheld magnifiers and video magnifiers. The thing with magnifiers is that we always, if people come in asking for magnifiers, we always send them to the low vision clinic first, because we don't do magnification testing, and the low vision clinic do, and they can supply magnifiers free of charge, because they can be sight loss equipment can be quite expensive. But if the people then want to come back and have a look, knowing the magnification, knowing what they've got for free and seeing what we've got they can have a look at, they're more than welcome. We then have a range of daily living aids, which include things like bump-ons.
What's a bump-on?
A bump-on is like a sticky raised dot that you could put on your TV remote or your microwave or your washing machine, so you can feel where your favourite programme is on the microwave, or the on-off button is on your telephone, or things like that.
Of course, yeah.
We've got things like multi-memos, where you can record shopping lists if you're reliant on friends and family to do your shopping. Rather than having to write it, you can record it and they can just go play it in the supermarket. So
they actually take you record, it's like a mini recorder, and you record on it and then give it to them, and they can take it with them, and it's
you can take it with them. We've got equipment such as non-slip coasters, and coasters that have got a wide lip so that you can see where you're putting your cup, glow mats.
I see it. There's an interesting looking cup there at the back as well.
Yeah, the cup is really good. This is my favourite. So this is a non-slip cup. So you literally cannot knock it over, but as soon as you just lift it up, it just comes up. And it has a lid as well, so if you're a little bit dubious on your mobility, it's very beneficial.
I think we could all do with a cup with a lid on it. I think that's a breakthrough idea for all of us. Yeah,
Then we have a range of mobile phones and communication aids, so things like USB players so you can listen to your audio books, large, not large print, big button telephones. We have different lighting options available for people, including cane lights, which are really good at this time of year.
What's a cane light?
So if you use a long cane, you can fix it onto your cane, and it just gives you a little bit more light as you're walking. Right.
So it almost points to where the cane's pointing, so you can illuminate where it's going. Yeah.
Then we also stock cocoons, which are fit over glasses. So they have a range of tints which different people with different eye conditions would benefit from different tints, and they just go over your normal glasses. So people with sight loss tend to struggle with glare and harsh lighting, whereas with these on, they're quite good.
Topical at the moment with sort of awkward sunsets.
Absolutely.
Around about commuter time in the evenings.
Yeah, definitely. We also have a range of games. So we've got tactile dominoes, super big boggle, we've got tactile drafts, braille Scrabble, large print Scrabble, large print crosswords and word searchers, tactile Connect 4, tactile dice, braille Uno.
It's a very exciting looking corner. I particularly like the look of the tactile snakes and ladders. That looks epic.
Yeah. Then moving round, we have KitchenAid. So we've got a talking air fryer, talking induction hob, talking thermometer, talking tin lids, liquid level indicators, talking weighing scales, a range of options for people that people can. The whole idea of this site centre is that people can come in and try things before they buy, so they can see whether it's going to be worth the money that they pay out for it. And we'll always demonstrate things. We've got a talking microwave, a kettle tipper, pan pickles, all sorts of things going on in here.
Fantastic. What an array of gadgets, and so much that talks back to you these days.
Yeah. Then we've also got some watches. So we've got talking watches, tactile watches, large-faced watches. We've got talking clocks, talking alarm clocks, talking blood pressure monitors, talking weighing scales, eyedroppers, all sorts of things going on in here.
That entertaining tour of the site centre concluded our visit to the Halifax Society for the Blind. We'd like to thank Faye for making us feel so welcome and for taking the time to share with us the many activities the Society offers for people with vision impairments. And that's also the end of this Disability Partnership Calderdale podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back soon with another podcast, but in the meantime, you can catch up with all the latest disability news, advice, information and events on our website, disabilitypartnershipcalderdale.org, where you can also sign up to our free email newsletter. Goodbye for now.